Chapter 19, Transport Operations. Okay, to be an effective emergency medical responder, we need to prepare for calls, review dispatch information, respond safely to the scene, perform the scene size up. Remember, don't forget hazards. Okay, then we need to do initial patient assessment, primary survey. We need to do a secondary survey, and we need to provide emergency care. Updating the responder unit and transfer of care to the EMS personnel and completing post-run activities. All right. Always need to make sure that you have your vehicle is properly ready at all times. You need to make sure that you have your life support kit with you. Everything you're going to be needing anytime you go out. All right, there's a table. Suggested contents of a life support kit. You can look through it. There are certain things that are an absolute must, and then there's other things that are obviously optional. Okay, dispatch or whatever will send you a call. Most call centers are either 999 in UK, 911 in America, 112. But you most likely be working with people in a company, and you will be contacted via a radio system if you need to respond. Otherwise, you will be in the action and responding yourself already. Information the dispatcher would require would be the nature of call, name and location of patient, number of patients, any specific or special problems like hazmats, vehicles, unstable vehicles, damage, fire, things like that, electrical faults. Weather problems could be a problem as well, hey? And always make sure that there's a callback number from the caller. Okay, we need to arrive at the scene as quickly and as safely as possible. We need to consider traffic patterns and time of the day. We always need to use safety first, so seatbelts would be used, equipment would be secured in the vehicle, and warning devices used if that is possible to have warning device, lights, sirens, things like that, if it is part of the protocol for yourself. Do not exceed a safe speed limit. Drive defensively. Remember, other people can't drive, especially if you have lights and sirens are going. They tend to lose their minds. On arrival at the scene, you place your vehicle in a safe position, preferably fend-off position, trying to protect yourself. Perform a scene size up, looking for hazards. Control the flow of traffic. You may have to put up some cones and things like that as well if you have them. Instantly, you need to determine the number of patients and how many additional resources you will be needing. It would be advisable to then begin patient care with the most seriously injured patients first, those that fall into the P1 category of the triage. All right, when we hand over to the emergency personnel when they arrive on scene, we will always give them a brief report of the situation, tell them what care you've provided. Obviously, you need to tell them what you found in the first place. Your primary survey and secondary survey, hand it over in full, okay? Answer any questions they may have, offer to assist in the caring for the patient, and obviously tell them what types of changes you've come across when you've been treating your patient. Has he improved? Has he been a gradual decline? And things you may suspect is going on. Just remember, it's always good to give them a complete handover so that they don't have to redo the work you've done, and help speed up the treatment of the patient. After any type of incident, whether you're at work or out on your own, there may be standard operating procedures with regard to paperwork, injured on duty forms. Companies may have specific requirements depending on where you're working. Always remember to keep your records, photographs, things like that, voice recordings and all those kind of things handy at all times. Make copies, backups of those type of things, especially if you change phones or there's a habit of losing things. Make sure you have a backup copy. Even if you make yourself a hard copy somewhere else. Only after you've completed these activities should you resume to regular duties. Once you're ready, if you're on Responder type of duty. Always remember to call back your dispatcher and sign back on duty so that they know you're ready for a call. Helicopter operations. Helicopters are often used in EMS systems. They reach patients a lot quicker. They also transport patients a lot quicker to medical facilities. And the flight is a lot less bumpy than in a vehicle. Okay, there's also no problem with traffic delays, things like that. Always remember, when you're approaching helicopters, you need to do it from where the pilot can see you. We're never coming from the back. Hopefully we're coming from the sides. They're very quick to respond, okay, especially to wilderness areas where there's no roads and things like that. They carry specialized equipment. They carry the people that know how to use that specialized equipment. They have advanced skills that some staff members on ambulance don't have. Okay, the downside is that helicopters are definitely limited in bad weather, high winds, snow, storms, that type of thing. Definitely can't fly a helicopter in a tornado. Okay, if your EMS system uses a helicopter, obtain a copy of ground operating procedures, schedule an orientation with the helicopter personnel so that you know what exactly is required of you. Okay, once you know how to request helicopter response, as well as the criteria for calling a helicopter for trauma patients, medical patients, and wilderness response. Ideal for use for rescue operations. All right, safety guidelines. The main rotor spins around 300 revs per minute and maybe about 4 foot above the ground. The tail rotor spins at 3,000 revs per minute and may be invisible to an unwary person. Rotors can generate winds of up to 80 miles per hour. It's probably about 120 kilometers, 110, 120 kilometers per hour. Setting up a landing zone or an LZ, usually pilots would take off and land into the wind. Civilian helicopters need a landing zone of 100 by 100, that's feet. So it's approximately 30 meters or 33 meters by 33 meters. The landing zone should be as clear as possible and free from all debris, especially things that can fly up, like sheets of card, sheets of plastic, even sometimes sheets of steel or tin or aluminium. Okay, always check for nearby wires. If the site is on a slope, check for any obstacles, notify the pilot. When marking the area, avoid using flags. Okay, flashing emergency lights, keep clear of the landing zone. Okay. Always approach a helicopter from the front so the pilot can see you, like I said just now. Okay, loading helicopters, secure all loose clothing, sheets, and instruments. Use eye protection, approach the helicopter from the front. Only the pilot signals you when it's safe to do so. Follow the flight crew's instructions. Give a patient report to the crew and any noise, away from any noise, and offer your assistance. Patients need to be packaged properly and securely.